On December 26, 2004, an earthquake measuring 9.0 in the middle of the Indian Ocean created massive waves, tsunamis. These waves, reaching over 10 meters high, slammed coastal regions across Southeast Asia, leaving some 300,000 people dead and 1.7 million people displaced. Entire villages were destroyed, lives left in ruin. But help was quick to arrive, with the Red Cross leading the way. Red Cross volunteers and staff in many of the countries hit by the tsunami immediately began to provide emergency help. That involved medical aid, trying to find children or parents who'd gone missing, providing food, clean drinking water, and clothing for literally millions of people, and helping in many other ways. Red Cross societies around the world accepted donations from school children, businesses, organizations, and governments, and pooled that money to meet one collective objective: to help the people in all areas impacted by this catastrophic disaster to begin to rebuild their lives. Today, the Red Cross is operating significant projects across Sri Lanka, India, Indonesia, and the Maldives. Helping in Indonesia was Edmonton's own Donald Bourne, a real estate investment expert and a senior member of the local Canadian Red Cross Volunteer Disaster Management Team. He spent 14 weeks, beginning in December of 2006, on the ground in some of Indonesia's hardest-hit areas. Here is his story.
The initial phase of the operation was to get people into emergency and transitional houses, which are just your basic structure, one-room building that's made of wood and is very quickly put up. Whereas now we're in the process of building over 6,000 homes, permanent homes, which are made out of brick and mortar, and they will have a proper sanitation facility with septic tanks and water and electricity brought inside each of the buildings.
Canadian Red Cross is working in 29 villages in the province of Aceh and about 25 villages on the island Nias. In many places there are no roads, only muddy tracks between villages. We work with local leaders to ensure there's community input. We employ local people wherever possible to help rebuild the economy, and we buy local products to build strong communities. Here Donald is driving past a local community brickmaking operation. Donald coordinated with community leaders, the Canadian Red Cross delegation already on the ground, and local residents to determine the needs such as materials for reconstruction of permanent and transitional housing, building water and sanitation systems, and power needs such as generators for communities. For example, on one day, Donald organized the shipment of 64 tons of gravel and sand for cement to a town building site.
What I'm doing here is, as the logistician, I'm in charge of all the stock management and supplies. So everything you see of these houses, including the telephone poles for the electricity, the cement to rebuild the roads, the pavement, is all purchased and taken through the logistics department. We deliver all the stuff out here. I buy all the bricks, the wood, everything that's out here, and I can now see what they're actually doing with all the materials that are being purchased. It's amazing. Well, the houses the Canadian Red Cross are building are, you can see the size they are, but there's 4 different styles which the beneficiaries can actually choose one of the 4. In addition to the 4 styles that they can choose from, there are several different colors. But as you see in this area itself, most of the beneficiaries have chosen a yellow color for the outside of their building, of their new house. As well, the Canadian Red Cross, we're not just here to build a house, we've also ensured that that electricity is put in place, there's new roads, that the water is into the building, and as well as septic systems. So these structures are actually a lot better than they were before. They're very environmentally friendly, so that they're very sustainable for many years to come. I've done a lot of work, but there's still a lot of work to be done. You see a lot of foundations that are there, and there's nothing left. It's just amazing to see this entire area after tsunami was just completely flat. The only thing left standing are a few trees and some of the bushes. The vegetation has grown over a lot of the foundations, but as you walk around here, you can see the devastation that was left by the tsunami as the wave came in. It's just taken everything right off. It's hard to describe exactly what you feel inside, because you know that talking with the staff at the delegation and the workers that were actually in these villages and stuff, like this village, over 3,000 people living here before the tsunami, and now there was only 250 people that actually survived. And to see that this whole place there was nothing here. Every house was taken down, every structure was wiped away in the tsunami, and now I see around houses in blocks. I see new infrastructure. I see the new septic systems, water sanitation that's going on here, and the electrical lines that are starting to be put in place. So it's amazing that in 2 years' time that we have done so much to an area that was so devastated in 2 years ago.
And what